Okay, good afternoon. I'm gonna be doing an NQ review, a personal NQ review. So this is more for my trading journal than anything else, and to my self-study. But feel free to join me along. So I'm looking at the daily chart. We did leave this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency on this daily and weekly chart. We're barely leaving that SIBI. So honestly, these next coming days, I'm actually expecting for the lows to be. I'm bearish for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We do have, I believe, we do have news coming out tomorrow, 8:30. So I'm gonna be expecting a lot of volatility at 8:30. Might be in a move before, depending on what time I get home. And then at 10 a.m. we don't really got much else news other than 11 a.m. So on my time, which is 12 New York time. So yes, we had last week's high broken through. We still have buy side liquidity from Monday. We have Wednesday's low, Wednesday from last week's low, and then Tuesday's high has already been broken through, and so that's why I'm pretty much thinking the market's gonna go low. These are kind of relatively equal lows. Take out these lows within these next couple of days, or however long it takes. Again, for our chart, we do have this sell side imbalance on this 4-hour chart, or buy side imbalance. Sorry. So further reinforcing my bearish bias. 1-hour chart. We do have. I forgot to mention this. We do have this huge sell side imbalance, or a buy side inefficiency that we did create in the morning, 10 a.m. on Tuesday last week. Traded up into it a little bit and traded back down. On Wednesday, we traded into these lows, into this right here. We kind of showed rejection. Traded into this order block. Traded into this order block. If I'm correct, that should be about mean threshold. Yeah, it's about 50%. Respected the lower half of it, and respected the lower half. Trades through this order block. Comes up, touches the 25%, wicks down. Now we're going to go into the 1 hour. This is the same chart. Like I mentioned, we have these inefficiencies right here, or BISIs. This BISI, we have this order block. So I'm thinking of draw liquidity coming down here. We already broke through these equal lows, relatively equal lows, on Tuesday. We did leave these lows, and like I said, everything else down here yesterday or today. Today we had kind of a weak move. Not a lot done today, now that I'm looking at it. Actually, that's a lie. A lot done. Traded into it. But the range itself is it was a tough day. Note to self, coupling, I will be doing this. ES and NQ were decoupled, is what ICT called it. Yes, just do ES. So you see how it made this low but on this chart it made the low, didn't break this low like we did here, and then went higher and then back low. It does go higher around the same time, 10 a.m. goes higher, starts reversing. So they're catching up in terms of like, okay, now they're starting to look alike. But up until 9 a.m., they were very much decoupled. Not the same. 9 a.m. Price action very off. And then I don't know what the Dow Jones, DIJ, I think it is. DIJ. Indices. DJI, there you go. DJI just made highs 9 a.m. So this was decoupled. Not going to see a lot of precision, but because we saw precision between yes, because we saw these being very similar to one another. Because they were very similar to one another, you could have had precision. I did not. Today was a horrible day for me. I overtraded, over leveraged, and I didn't stick to my rules. Day one of trading actual real funds. So, I mean, first time ever doing this, I was nervous. I was scared to be wrong. When I was wrong, I wanted to get back in. But let's go back to this 1 day chart, or this chart. So yes, up until order block, comes back down. Going to the 15 minute. Let's look at the 15 minute. So we did leave these relatively equal highs. We do have these highs from Tuesday. In my opinion, they actually look very relatively equal. So I'm marking that out. I am still bearish from that Tuesday. So from in general, even though we have this huge 4 hour and now it's on 1 hour and 15 minutes, we still have these lows on Wednesday from these last 2 weeks, and this lower half. Let's see. So yes, let's look at what we had in the morning though. So 7 a.m. price opens up, creates this right here, relatively equal highs, breaks through this low, creates this low, makes an attempt to run up, and then sells off dramatically, leaving this huge ass fair value gap. Mark this red for a city. Comes up, and in my opinion, I don't think I would want to trade this. It comes up, fills it, but leaves this right here. Well, where's it gonna go? I did mark out these relatively equal highs right here, which it did finally reach up, but price action, in my opinion, probably best to like sit out. 10 a.m. macro does shoot up, retraces back, creates this range, which honestly I was 50% trustworthy range. I might just like take off this. Well, we'll keep this quadrant since it's a decent range. And then so comes up, but look at how like the only fair value gap that it gave me that could have given me this one, which went against my bias, which is why I didn't trust it. Also, I didn't have a bias this morning. I was very I wasn't on the chart. This was my morning. I should have actually been bullish, even though it filled it and came back up. But the morning new day opening gap, or regular trading hour gap, was just like not that good, to be honest. So I was like, okay. And then comes up. Doesn't really give me any entries. At 2 p.m. though, 2:15 shoots up, creates this fair value gap. Where does it create it? Around the 25, the quarter mark. It also comes down. Where does this come down? The quarter. Comes down. Breaks through. Turns it into a inverse fair value gap. Comes back up. Starts trading down. This is in a high premium. So from when it trades up right here, 242, 32, 22. And then proceeds to keep on going down in the session afternoon. Let's quickly go to the 5-minute quickly. So let's go over it again. 5 a.m. 6 a.m. Sorry. 7 a.m. Get these highs. Makes the low, breaks the low, comes back up, back down, back up again. Keeps on climbing higher. Hold on. Before I go on further, let me mark this out. Remember yesterday, ICT said on the market is crazy or consolidated. All you gotta do is mark out the day prior, or that day of 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Make this bigger. Get this high. Get this low. Okay, so now we have our highs and lows. Just move this over so it's not in the way. 7 a.m. right here. Up. Down. Very consolidated day. My opinion, very tricky. Like I said, probably best to sit out today. But I was excited, didn't listen to myself, paid the price. Check this out. I totally forgot about this. 62% retracement level. High to low, comes fill it up. I think this one's 0.7075 right there. Boom. Hits consequent approachment of that perfectly. Boom, goes all the way up. Just wanted to show that. Quickly, entry. Didn't take that entry. Full. Take it down here for up here. 10 a.m. Time and price. 9:30, bad opening. Very, very, it was anemic. Anemic opening. 9:30. Comes down, immediately sells off. 10 a.m. shoots up. Now, am I going to know it's going to shoot this up? No. yes and no, but yes, because it obviously leaves this huge range. I marked it out as well. Leaves this huge 15-minute fair value gap. Needs to fill it up. When is it going to fill it up? No clue. How low does it go? Well, it went down to this low, broke through new week opening gap, and went all the way to Wednesday's October, created the low of October, into this Wednesday gap, new week opening gap. And then proceeds to reverse upwards. $10 a.m. like I said. I just wasn't locked in. Today, I'm taking a little bit hard, but I'm trying my best to, I managed my risk. I ended up barely, I took my risk, and my risk model only lets me, for the full total, I have 2,000 to lose, to only lose 0.5% of it altogether. Or in a total, a trade, I lose $10 a trade if I ever make a trade. That's my stop loss, $10. 20 handles. I'll go up a little bit more on a day that I'm more inclined, like a high resistance liquidity run, but I shouldn't be trading those days. I'm not good enough to trade them yet, personally. But let's quickly look at this. You got an order block. You can trade the order block. Boom. You have this fair value gap. How low can it go? We had this order block. We also had, this order block, OTE, breaker, high, low, higher, high, comes back down into the breaker, and then keeps on going up. So 10 a.m. to 11 comes back down at 10:40. And then 1:30. Let's look at 1:30. So we got 1:30, relatively equal lows. We have these highs. Remove this because it's too much. Relatively equal highs. Moves up. Moves up, down. There's this right here, order block, trades into the mean threshold, I believe, of it. Yep. And then comes back up. Leaves this, takes out this relatively equal high. Honestly, thought I should have taken out these as well, but it didn't. That's okay, I guess. Rejects from this 75% level, starts going downwards, keeps on going down, creates this inverse fair value gap for the rest of the day. Not a lot of movement, in my opinion, though. My move would have been right here. Reverse, it's got to be a fair value gap in that. Let's quickly look at it just before I forget. 2 p.m., sorry. So 1:30, low, relatively equal lows. I had these highs by 2 p.m. Relatively equal highs. This target equal to this high, and this high was my ultimate target with this. 9 a.m. These were my ultimate highs. So let's see. 2 a.m., 2 p.m., silver bullet time. Market comes down, fills this 130 fair value gap, reverses immediately. Displacement. Not enough displacement, to be honest. That's why I didn't want to take this though. There wasn't enough displacement for me. It's a breaker though. High, low, higher high. Breaker. Market leaves this high, comes back down. I could have entered in barely right there, but even then, 39. You know, I could have entered in, but it wasn't clean enough for me, in my opinion. But I'll be honest, I entered in a lot and I messed up a lot. This high chased price up here, thought it was gonna go higher, rejects down. 1, 2 touches, 2 retests, breaks down again, hard. Leaves this tiny fair value gap, which it trades into. Down. Finally makes this a inverse fair value gap. When it trades into it, you could use these. You need stop loss to afford yourself that. You would have been fine. But price action very, very off. Decoupled, not as algorithmic as I would have liked it to be. So remember, big note I want to take is make sure you relax, man. You're doing great. You're doing what you need to do. You've showed yourself that you can make money doing this. You just gotta follow your rules. Got excited. First time, emotions a little bit different. Haven't felt this before, but now you know. Lock in. Focus up. Don't chase price. Price runs away, okay. Price will come back to you. Your subs will be there. Don't. Just because you miss a setup now doesn't mean you're gonna miss one up later. There's many ways to get in a setup. Remember, you have the hierarchy. You have the if you miss the turtle soup, which this was, price went all the way down. Turtle soup. Here, turtle 6, turtle 7, right? Turtle soups into this right here. Reverses. You missed the turtle soup, you're not gonna get the turtle soup, right? That's not what you're trading right now. Turtle soups breaks away. Order block. Right here's an order block. Right here. Break. Fair value gap. Didn't trade into the fair value gap. Okay. This is also an order block. It's also a breaker. High, low, higher, high. Right, closed above it. Breaker. I could use this as a breaker, but this is a bigger, larger candle. Breaker. Trades into it. From candle top, bottom, protect 50%. Perfect breaker. Trades back into the breaker. Away. 2 p.m. Remember, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 9:30. Those are the times. 9:30, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 9:50, 10:50. Not really the lunch macro, even though I found success in the lunch macro, 11:30 to 12. Even though I found success in the lunch macro before, I don't really like, it's not really consistent for me. The lunch macro just reaches for inefficiency. So honestly, when the lunch macro hit, I saw it actually swept this intermediate high, the short-term high, 11:30, swept short-term high, immediately starts reversing. Broke through this right here, short-term low, broke through this short-term low, traded down, back up, down, and back up, all the way up. But me, after I traded this turtle soup, this is actually something I wanted to see play out and was going to catch, but I didn't catch it well. Turtle soup it. Aiming for what? External liquidity to internal liquidity. I was aiming for this range. Breaks through it. Once it came back up, I wanted to try to catch that move down. Come back up. But remember, 2 p.m. So remember, 1:30. Look at 1:30. Lows. Lower than that. That's lower than that. 1:30 to 2 p.m. We had highs. 2 p.m. we had this high, but we also had this fair value created. Trades below. Boom. Touches it. Respects the fair value gap. Trades into the volume imbalance. Immediate rebalancing perfectly up. Inverse fair value gap. Regular fair value gap. See, I don't catch that. Well, hits this higher time frame, fails it, doesn't close above, reverses immediately. Doesn't close above, reverses immediately. Twice it fails. What is that telling me? Well, obviously it's not going higher. Also, on top of that, the range for the day, or the morning session, it was 5 a.m., right? Either way. This is my session anyways. Failing to go higher. Starts dropping. Missed it at 215, right? We could have taken this last bid entry. Breaker, I think. High, low, higher, high. Actually, no, I wouldn't trust that still. Order block. 250, look at 250. Oh. Didn't give you nothing, gives you this. Wicks do the damage. Bodies tell the story. Body stayed right inside it. Final hour macro. $350. Comes in. Takes out this. Takes it out one more time. Starts running down lower. Take out this low. To reach for this low. Or, I mean, sorry, this civvy, where this breaker, this low is. And then the last 10 minutes. So yeah, trust yourself. Don't rush. You got this.